Looks around. No way. One. The smoke. Two. No freaking way. Andersin, baby, the 3K.
Listen, this timing. Don't get risky. He's out on the iPad, but he finds Will. That's big.
Swan is actually back on side as a result. Now looking to see Jen getting pinched, and that's Andersin just going huge this round. Can't get out, get him up, but I guess Andersin can. He's got the numbers on deck and on lock. That's pistol round for NA.
I mean, being able to just stand here, hear the
What's going on, guys? I'm Candidate 3K. I'm here with Andy or Andersin, formerly Dark Zero, now with Nearest Airport. We're going to talk a little bit about Nearest Airport's goals, where they see themselves for the future. We just happen to both be at the Toronto Valorant LAN, both from NA, ironically, just over in a new country, so might as well take the opportunity. So for one, if you just want to the camera who you are, I mean, they know, but just in case.
But yep, my name is Andy Collins, otherwise known as Andersin in the Valorant community, and really happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me to be a part of this opportunity.
Hell yeah, I got to talk to you at the end of a PDK, or at the end of a Proving Grounds, but talk to you in person significantly better, so we'd like to see that. All right, so first and foremost, what is the goal with Nearest Airport? Just very, very blunt, very basic.
The very basic goal, I guess the blunt way of saying it, is we want to be international competitors, and we want to be able to compete at the tier 1 level consistently from here on out for the future.
Okay, so we've seen a lot of teams come up in tier 2. Number one example, I guess, being a Crustralis, went crazy, won everything, have started to fall off. What's going to make this roster different?
For us, the longest part of this entire roster iteration has been really working towards building a culture and a system that baseline of, I guess when you try to say it like that, we have a different culture and a different system than most teams. And the culture that we've worked on creating is the baseline for bad performances across all 5 players is still going to be rooted in teamwork, in basic teamwork. So for us, it's not about the highlights or the star players or trying to get our duelists in the best positions always or catering towards one specific player. It's understanding that the game itself is won by micro or macro level concepts of teamwork established in micro level ways. And that's our baseline. So our worst performances will still be established in good teamwork, and our best performances is going to be phenomenal teamwork with explosive players. And what happens in a lot of tier 2 or even tier 1 teams is they get comfortable, or they confuse adaptation with comfortability. So a lot of teams will play setups that they practiced a lot in scrims, but they're applying it to the wrong situations due to the fact that they're comfortable with that because they've practiced it so much. Where we are really good at adapting in real-time live situations because that's what we've been practicing. We have setups, we have set plays, but we're never going to call those set plays if the situation does not call for it. It does make practicing those a little bit harder, but that's what your dry runs are for. That's what there's something that we do, or we'll go when we have a strat that we want to dry run. We'll actually go in a custom and say if the strat is to default a lobby control, but they have an enemy opera, we'll tell Tyler or Sim to go try to op us as we run this default, and we will continuously run it until we've been able to identify all the ways to counter it. Then after there's the opera, we'll throw in a breach stun, we'll throw in sky flashes, we'll throw in other obstacles that other teams might run in their comp in order to get the value from it, so we know how to handle that situation when it does or when it so arrives.
Yeah, I love the way you talk about the game just in general, and I hope that even after playing, you coach, manage, something like that, because you're too smart, way too smart to just play. I will ask you, do you guys have a coach with the roster right now?
We haven't had a coach up to this point. We are now trialing several different, we are looking for one, and we've been trialing several different coaches. That I cannot disclose.
Sure.
There's actually a couple really big
Very
names.
fair, very fair. So you bring the concept of what you've just stated, which is very much like a coach is telling us to do this, into your practice already. What is a coach going to bring you?
Strategical depth.
For other teams?
For our team. So something that one of the coaches actually talked to us about is, I'll give a little bit of insight to this, but one of our coaches was a coach for a team that attended a Masters event. And in that event, he was describing one of the strategical things that he had a depth to. And one of their strats, he got it all nailed down to a T, where if the enemy team came to this position, the win condition was this person on site only needs to get one person, and the rotate time for help to come in was 9 seconds, and they all timed it out.
Shit.
So it's bringing the level of strategical depth like that, where we have time to rotate, where we know how long it takes, so we can look at the clock and go, I'll have backup in this much time, rather than it being more on the fly. And then going a layer further than that is developing strategies that we can, like, as a playbook that we can pull out.
Right.
There's the whole joke of 100 gimmicks, but the gimmicks work. It's when you start using the gimmicks as a win condition in which they're bad.
Right.
So right now, we are good at adapting, and we have a few gimmicks. I want to turn it into 100 gimmicks with the adapting.
Sure.
And that's what the strategical coach can actually help with. Because I believe, again, in the macro level concepts are what win games. It's the micro decisions that make it easier. But those micro decisions are a reflection of how much you know macroly. And if a coach can come in and bring us even more macro level concepts that we can then digest and turn it into our, I guess, micro plays, it's only gonna make us an even scarier opponent. Because it's not only can these guys read and adapt to us, it's these guys have strats that we're not gonna be able to stop, that they can pull out at any moment due to the fact that they're reading us.
Oh yeah. So I'm gonna reference Akru yet again because they're, I think, the best example toward you guys right now. The only difference being not having like real tier 1 experience via Dark Zero. So a crew successful for a long time with that 5. They pull 1 away, and you start looking at players getting poached. What is the reasoning you feel all 5 players should stick together? Because it has a lot of the time in tier 2 is 1 player gets pulled, 7 gets pulled, 7 leads 100 thieves, sits on the bench. Why do you feel like you need to keep all 5 together?
This goes in a little bit to why again, it's my opinion, so I'm not trying to out anybody here, like deliberately call people out. But I think the moment you take a player, so like a crew, they had their 5 for I think like 6 or 7 months, and they became really dominant in those 6 or 7 months. But the moment an individual takes a trial for a betterment of themselves, they are effectively telling the team that, hey, I don't believe that we are going to succeed long time, and I need to look out for myself. And when you do that, you destroy all the trust that you've built up. Because if I'm playing on a team and one of my players says, hey, I'm going to go trial for this other team, they're telling me that they don't think we can be better than that, and that we've hit a roadblock. And then my faith in that person just completely goes out the window. And when you bring a new person into an already successful roster, this again is like what I think my projection of what happened to a crew is you have these, you're liking everything new that they do, but you're also expecting all the old stuff that you did to be done at the same level. And when that isn't done 100%, you've reset the entire culture of the team, and you have to redefine that with each player, and you have to build up from scratch. So a crew, essentially, in my opinion, has completely reset their entire roster, where even though they had a dominant run in the past, that doesn't matter anymore because of the new person they brought into their environment.
Sure, it's a really good point. Okay, so where you guys are right now, what is, okay, besides the obvious, money, extra time, what is a tier 1 org going to bring you that you don't currently have?
It really does come down to the buying time. And I know that sounds like such a cliche answer.
No, that's super fair. Like, I'm dropping out of college right now because I have too many opportunities all the time for them. I totally understand.
Yeah, there are multiple individuals on my team that we're limited by what we're able to do. And the limitations come from financial responsibilities of living on your own, your obligations to provide for yourself. And when you are no longer making money, you have to provide for yourself elsewhere, and then you lose the time to commit into it. So right now, we are all actually pulling out of our own pockets in order to continue doing this because we believe in the project, and we've seen the crazy amount of growth that we can have with just applying even a few of these a few of these macro level concepts seriously.
Okay, so pulling from your own pockets, does that set a timer for you guys? And what is that timer?
Without financial support for the immediate future, we have about 2 months left, which puts a time frame on everybody. But it's also kind of like it's kind of like a test, because it's like we all know we can make this work, and it's about putting 100% in each day. So for me, I am trying to be the best possible teammate for my guys to give us the best possible chance, and they are as well. And when we all actively see that coming in each day, it doesn't really worry us. It's like, I know in the back of the head there's a time limit, but for me, I feel like that will be fulfilled via our success.
It's a scary VCT qual then, no?
Yes and no. Again, when I'm able to say, it's scary because like there's always going to be like the what if in the back of like someone's head. But if you live by those what ifs, you're never going to succeed in anything in life. If you're always questioning what could have been and not what can be and what is right now, it's always going to be a problem. And for us, we are confident in our practice, in our tournament results, in what we've been able to do, and what we are seeing or what we're going to be changing for the future that's going to make it even better. And because we're able to gauge our progress like that, I don't want to jinx it by saying we're 100% making close and all of that, but I have a very good feeling that we have a better than average shot at making the close ball.
Yeah, I do too, and not just from tier 2 success. Like tier 1 or more tier 1 orgs are playing down on this level, and you are beating them. I would 100% agree with you. Okay, so is there anything you feel you haven't got covered yet that you feel is very important that gets put in a piece of media like this?
The only thing that I would want to add is just a thank you to everybody, because being a free agent team, we've received so much support from the community, and I really do appreciate you guys. It is unreal to see how many of you guys are rooting for us and behind us. And then I know I'm usually the media spokesperson for my team, and with that being said, I just want to say that like this is to my guys. Like I love you guys, and like without all of you, this wouldn't have been possible. And just like thank you to all the fans, thank you to my teammates, and thank you to everyone who is listening, giving our opportunity for a story to be heard.
All right, and just to take the serious edge off, just for a minute, and this doesn't really mean anything. If you could go to an org, where would you want to go?
I don't know. Okay, so
if they pay me, I'm going.
If I had to take, no. The serious one would be like, I'm not going anywhere that isn't going to be with the people that I'm with right now, because they deserve. Again, me being on a previous signed team, I get a lot of the recognition. For sure. But there's so many people on my roster that are underrated in everything that they do, and they so much deserve that opportunity as much as me. But if we want to go fanboy, not Cloud9, 100 Thieves because of Sean Garris. Sean Garris was my the guy who got me into esports, and I remember watching him on Cloud9. So he's like my inspiration, especially with the type of leader that he was, and the type of leader that like I want to be. It'd be 100 Thieves so I could work with Sean.
Hell yeah, I love that. Well, thank you for your time. I am, for one, a very strong supporter of the project, so I'm hoping for the best. 2 months is scary, but I think you guys got it. I 100% think you guys got it. Best of luck for you. Thank you for sitting down, and see where you guys go.
All right, thank you. All right, it's fucking cold.
It is so cold.